Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, here with another video. This is going to be about politics. Yes, politics. This video is pretty much movie politics. So I want to do a video about the Scarlett Johansson, like a controversy that's been going on with her film that she recently dropped out of. I think it was like called Rug and Tug or Tub or something like that. But anyway, it's where she was supposed to play a transvestite, or not transvestite, but transsexual, who I believe was a man and turned into a woman, transgender I guess. But anyway, so she had to drop out of that because of controversy. Basically, a bunch of people got up in arms. Most of the people weren't even transsexuals. I mean, probably like 1% was transsexuals, but 90% of the people that got up in arms were all just token white guys who just wanted to yell and get mad about the fact that it's a woman playing a transgender person who turned into a woman. I believe that's what it is. So, what I got to say about this is, what the hell is the problem? I mean, I don't normally talk about politics. Like, I did it one other time when I was talking about forced politics in film, which that does happen. But that seems like what people are wanting to turn films into now. Like, they're no longer entertainment and film. They're wanting to turn them into, quote-unquote, political standing. Like, they want to take films and make them and put their own political views in them. Like, force them in there. Yes, I'm using hand motions. Force them in there so they can like get their own political points across. And to me, like, films shouldn't be like a political platform. Like, if you want to put politics in a film and do it in a clever way, not like a forced-in way like Spider-Man Homecoming did, which is a film I enjoyed, like where one of the main characters, Salt One, starts giving lessons about the Washington Monument being built by slaves. I mean, what the hell was that in there for? It just takes me out of it. I don't want Spider-Man movies telling me about what politics I should have or trying to educate me on politics. I want to watch a Spider-Man movie. But anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, it's like everybody wants to make a film a political standing now. Like the audience, the people who do this are like, most of them have good intentions, but they become like extremists with it, and they just turn to like crazy SJWs. And I can't stand SJWs. People who like want better things and more representation for people of different genders and stuff like that, that's cool. I'm all for that. But when you get extremist with it like this, like, okay, let's go with this. Okay, you got Scarlett Johansson. She's playing a transgender man who has become a woman, right? So he's a woman. Most people would tell you that a transgender man who becomes a woman is a woman. Okay? They will tell you that that person's a woman. So, which I agree. I mean, like, a scientist will tell you that someone is not born a woman and just turned into a woman really isn't a woman. I mean, I think a lot of scientists would probably say that. But most people will tell you that if you get turned into a woman, you're a friggin' woman. And I agree with that. So, my point of view is this. If the person was turned into a woman, and what's wrong with hiring a woman to play a woman? I mean, what the fuck is, I mean, what is the problem with that? Okay, then you get into the point of more representation for different varieties of people, okay, transgender people. Okay, I'm for that. Totally fine with that. But, I mean, acting is acting. Shouldn't the person who... It's each director's responsibility to find the person he feels is right for the role. Okay, who he feels is the best actor that who he feels has the best acting for the particular style of the part that he wants to go for, and who will bring in good business, because movies have to be sold on, you know, known faces or some kind of known quantity, because it's a business as well. Scarlett Johansson is a good actor. I don't think she's a great actor. I don't. I think she's a good actor, but I don't think she's great. But the director, who also did Ghost in a Shell, and he got shit for that, for having Johansson in it, even though she's a robot, and that's a whole other load of bullshit. I believe this is the only reason why this controversy is coming, because Jared Leto did this same thing, playing a transgender or whatever, transsexual, and he got shit, and he didn't get no shit for that. And now they're all attacking Scarlett Johansson, and I'm 99% sure it's because it's the same director of Ghost in a Shell. Ghost in a Shell, they casted her to play a character who is Chinese in the Chinese version. I believe it's what it was. Or Asian, I mean. And they attacked her for that, because it was an adaptation of an anime of a character who is considered Asian by most people, and he's been played by a white woman. In the film, they pretty much explain it by saying that the character was, or the person was put into a quote-unquote white body because it's more marketable, which that's meant to be a knock on, you know, how people view white as the more common race or or superior race and stuff like that. And I like that idea. But people got offended by that. I'm not sure why. Ghost in the Shell is not a great movie. It's not. But, I mean, that's a bullshit reason to dislike the movie. But, yeah, and they asked the people who, like, created Ghost in the Shell. They were like, how do you guys feel about this? Like, we don't give a damn. I mean, it's an American adaptation. They can cast whoever the hell they want. So it's like, it's just like middle-aged and young white guys sitting behind their computers. Mostly. This is most of these people. I'm just talking about the extremist section here. Not the people who want to make a difference and make things better. They're cool. That's cool in my book. But you got these extremists. They like start out wanting to do good things and then just go overboard with it. It's like the people who are like, I don't support animal cruelty or eating meat, so I want to go burn down a restaurant that sells meat. It's just like they start off noble and wanting to do good things and inspire people, but then they just go crazy with it. It always ends up like this. Always. But anyway, and they just want to complain. I notice it's mostly an American thing. Like, America is a great country. It still is. We have a lot of wonderful freedoms here that other people don't get. They just don't. And here, but America has like this God complex. I know other people had to have noticed this. They have this complex where they feel like, quote unquote, it's their job to like save humanity. Save it. Like, they feel like they just have to rush out and save and fight for anything they see as an injustice, even if it's not. Like, they just feel like they just have to go crazy with it. Like, they feel like it's their duty to save the entire friggin' planet. And they just take it to extreme every time. Nearly every time. And it's just crazy. Like, Americans as a country, even though I love this country, I feel like a lot of them have been taught, like, we're the best, and it's up to our job to save everyone who we feel like, you know, is being done an injustice, even if they're not. Like, we just have to keep doing this as a cycle. It's crazy. It's like we've developed a superhero or a god complex. It's weird. But anyway. So, she quit the role because of all the backlash. Even though there's no backlash for Jared Leto, there's no backlash at the time for Jeffrey Tambor, however you say his name, who also played a transgender character. It's just friggin' weird. Why all of a sudden it's just picking on Scarlett Johansson? Now, Ghost in the Shell has to be the reason. It has to be. And it's just weird to me because, like, what is acting? I mean, what is it really? It's people who get paid to pretend to be something they are not. That's what it is. Okay. So, she's getting paid to play this character to the best of her abilities, that the director sees that she's fit for the role. Okay. Why can't she play something just because that's not what she is in real life? I mean, I don't get that. I mean, yeah, we need more representation for transgender people and all that, but is forcing the representation the right way to go? Like, if the director feels like this person would be best for the role because of her acting ability, because he genuinely thinks she's a good actor, should he be forced to put an actual transgender person in the role, even though he doesn't think their acting is good enough? To me, that feels like special privilege, and I'm not a fan of special privilege. People can stick their special privileges in their asses. I'm not a fan of special privilege. That's BS. It's crap. It's a crock. I can't stand snowflake mentality. Here you go, pat you on the butt. You're better than all the rest. You get your special privilege. I can't stand that. That's pure bureaucracy, SJW horse crap to me. It's bull crap. It's horse crap. It's a terrible way, because you know, once this starts kicking off, we're just going to get more and more extremist with it. Pretty soon it's going to be only a gay guy can play a gay guy, only a straight guy can play a straight guy. I mean, when does it end? How crazy with it are we going to go? Because you know that's what's going to happen. You know that's what that's going to lead to. May not be in a few months. It may not be in a few years. But it's going to happen. We are going to get there as a race if we keep this up. It's going to happen. I agree. There should be more representation for transsexual, transgender, whatever, all different types of people. There should be more representation. But should it be forced onto people? Yeah, should a director be forced to cast somebody just because they're transgender to play as transgender? And you might say, well, who knows more about playing a transgender than an actual transgender? I mean, I get that. That's a valid complaint. But acting is acting. It's about research. You can research a role and learn how to play that said role. You can do research on transgenders by talking to transgender people and stuff like that, and do the sorry, there's a bug, and do the role. Like Jared Leto, great performance in Dallas Buyers Club, no complaints whatsoever. The man did a great job. I'm sure he researched the role. He's a method actor. Couldn't Scarlett Johansson do the same? I mean, I don't get that. And you'll say, well, why have her research the role? Why not just hire an actual transgender person to do the role instead? Well, the directors thought that her acting was the best for the movie, and you have to have her to sell the movie. You have to have a name to sell the movie. If you can get an actor who is a good actor. Scarlett Johansson, I do believe, is a good actor. She's not great, but I do think she's good. You can get an actor who is a good enough actor to sell this role, in the director's opinion, and has the notoriety to bring people to the theater. Well, Scarlett Johansson's not a big draw, but she would be a draw for a movie like this, which I would say would probably have more of a modest budget. She would be a draw for this. People would come see this. She would work in this type of role. And I know people are going to say, well, what about the business side? She was obviously just hired, just to sell the movie and stuff like that. Part of the reason probably was for her to sell the movie, but you need an actor of notable caliber, or at least well-known enough to sell a movie. I mean, that's part of selling a movie. Movies are half business. You have to do that. You got to have the business side in Hollywood as well. It's not just about that. The bottom line is there's nothing wrong with her being cast in a role, because acting is acting. And if the director feels she's good enough for the role, why shouldn't she be casted in the role? If he feels like her acting is genuinely good enough to carry the role, why shouldn't she be casted? And if you're somebody who thinks that her acting is probably not good enough to do the role, and she's not a good enough actor, well, that's fine. That's personal opinion. That's on acting. That's a whole other discussion about how good or bad she is as an actor. That's a whole different discussion. But they're trying to make it into a political thing of, is it right, for her to do the role? And it is. There shouldn't be anything wrong with her playing this role. It's a stupid, biased SJW attack on this actor just because of the fact that she was in the friggin' Ghost in a Shell movie. That's all this is. It is an assassination attempt. It's nothing more than that. It's bullshit. It's a crock. I'm sorry. It's a crock. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys again on the next one.